Hi, it's Lauren from Wholly Beautiful, and today we are talking about a brand that I have wanted to try for quite some time, which is Chantecaille. So what I think is what drew me in about this brand is that they are very philanthropic with all of their lines and collections within the brand. They donate a percentage of a lot of these products, whatever the sales are of these products, to different organizations that benefit the ecosystem. And so today, two of the products that I have that we're going to be trying out, they benefit coral reefs and elephants, which, if you know me, I love elephants. I have an elephant tattoo. I have an elephant shelf in my house. I have an elephant necklace that my husband gave me. It's kind of a family thing. Like, we all are a little bit elephant obsessed, most of us. So I was very excited to be able to purchase this because, hello, the packaging is adorable, and also because it benefits elephants and one of the organizations that is in Africa. So let's jump in. I purchased the Future Skin foundation. This is an oil-free foundation. They have, I think it's like 12 shades. It's not a lot, okay? Which I thought was a little, odd, because the creator of Chantecaille, if you don't know, is Sylvie Chantecaille, and she was the brainchild behind Prescriptives. So Prescriptives had a 30-year run in cosmetics, and they had custom foundation, and I don't know if it was concealer too, but you could go up to a Prescriptives counter and have your very own foundation mixed just for you. And there was something like 125 options. So for this particular line by the same creator to be so limited, I kind of thought that was strange. But what they have said is that they feel like within these 12 shades that you will find your match within them. And okay, yeah, like I think a lot of people could find their match within those 12. I just don't know why so few. That's kind of like my big question here. So I initially got the shade Chamomile, which is like a light, fair kind of color with a lot of yellow undertones. A lot of times I get more yellow undertones because I have some golden undertones in my skin. Warm tones tend to look better on me, but also a little bit more yellow is going to cut any redness in your cheeks. But what I found with that particular shade was it was really yellow, like patchy yellow on my skin, which was kind of weird because it didn't look like that whenever I swatched it on in the store. I got it at Blue Mercury, and they put some on a little sponge for me, and I was able to kind of like test it, and that seemed like the best option for me at the time. But I ended up exchanging it for vanilla. I hate taking makeup back. I hate exchanging it. I don't like doing that. I feel like it's very wasteful. But this is an $80 foundation, so I need it to work for my skin. So what I will say, this is a really, really beautiful foundation. They describe this as like a medium to full coverage. No. She's like a medium buildable, but like I would never ever call this like a full coverage. Like full coverage in my mind is like Danessa Myricks, MAC, like stuff that you could ghost your face out. This, I have built it up, and even when I build it up, it doesn't do that. So would I say that this is full coverage? No. Maybe for some people, but I would not call this full coverage. I do really like it though, and I think that it always looks so nice on the skin, and it doesn't make my skin feel greasy. It feels kind of moisturizing. Chantecaille they describe themselves as like very botanically based. And so this foundation, I believe it has seaweed in it. So it really kind of keeps your skin juicy and plump. Seaweed is really rich in minerals too, if I remember correctly. I'm going to go in with a little bit of my Dior concealer here. I'm not going to do a ton, but just a little bit to kind of cut some of the redness and around my eyes as well. So the other thing that I think is like super duper interesting about Chantecaille, which I'm like so confused. I listened to a podcast where Sylvia Chantecaille was talking about the brand, and she was talking about different makeup and stuff like that. And she had mentioned that she felt like silicones in cosmetics were like cheating and they don't like to use them. And when I looked at the box, like there was different silicones for Future Skin. And I'm like, that doesn't really add up with what you said. You made it sound like you didn't want silicones in your product and that you tried to formulate without them. But there are definitely silicones in this foundation. It doesn't feel really silicone-y though. That's kind of like the thing that I have found with this though, which is kind of nice. So, but I just thought that was kind of like an interesting little blurb because I was like, I wish that maybe she would have elaborated a little bit more in that podcast, because it's not a silicone-free foundation, but she made it sound like she didn't really like silicones at all. So, but I think it's a beautiful foundation. I've gotten so many compliments on my skin when I have worn this, and I really feel like it looks like your skin, but better. Part of why I wanted to try Chantecaille so much was that I was watching one of the Vogue, like, I think it was like a get ready with me kind of video, and Venus Williams, she had 2 shades of the Chantecaille and she used it, and it just like, her skin looks so beautiful and flawless, and like she's got great skin anyway, but like it was just like a little more perfected, but it still looked like skin. So that to me was like bing, 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 like you need to try this. So very, very happy with this purchase once I got the right shade. I would highly recommend, if you decide you want to try this out, go to a Blue Mercury, ask for a sample, and they can send you home with some so you can try it out and see if it's the right match for you. Okay, now that I've got some concealer on, I'm going to go in with a little bit of my Charlotte Tilbury powder just to kind of set this down a little bit. And if you wanted a more like kind of like subtly dewy finish, you could definitely skip powder on this. I've actually done that before too, and that still looks very beautiful. I'm going to set a little bit over my eyes just so nothing is moving around. And I'm just going to take this same brush and just kind of dust it off a little bit. And now I'm going to go in with one of the blushes. These are also really, really beautiful. So I got the shade Laughter, which benefits coral reefs. And when I first got this, you can kind of see the outline of the little coral right there. The coral was like slightly lighter and had more of like a shimmery effect on the top of this. And then that kind of goes away. And it's like, it's not like a flat matte necessarily. And it's kind of like a satin finish. It doesn't have like glittery chunks in it. It's really, really beautiful. And it just makes your cheeks like have this really pretty glow. I actually mentioned this and the Future Skin foundation in my recent like end of year favorites video. I have just loved both of these so much, and like I can use them with so many other products too, and they just blend really well with everything. But look at that, that's so pretty. It's just like a really fresh color, and I just felt like I would get the most wear out of this one. They didn't have like a ton of blush shades. I think it was like 8 total, which when you compare that to how many foundations they have, that's actually kind of a lot. But I love this color. I think it's really, really pretty. It's really soft, and I feel like this is one of those products that's really hard to overdo. Like it's got the right amount of pigmentation to where even when you build it up some, it's not like garish and like jumping out at you or like gaudy looking, which is really nice. That's where I feel like a lot of luxury brands get it right, where the way that the pigments are suspended in the formula, it's not overkill. It doesn't have a bunch of like chalky, dusty kickback where some products that are a little less expensive can do that. There's an overall feel when you use a lot of luxury products where they feel a little heavier in the hand. They provide a full experience rather than feeling like cheap plastic that's gonna just bust apart as soon as you set it down. You know what I'm saying? So like, I've really enjoyed the use of these products, not just the products themselves. Like it's a whole experience. And for me, that's kind of like my thing with makeup, is that like makeup for me is a moment in my day that I get to step away and focus on myself. Like, especially as like a wife and a mom, like my day, everything that I do is so focused on other people, and I do some brand work with some other stuff too, but like everything I do is for everybody else. And so this is for me. And I think that that's why this year, especially, I have spent a little more on like luxury products, because I just enjoy that experience and taking that time for myself. So now for eyes, I'm going to keep this really simple, and I want to show you some versatility with this eyeshadow pan. So like I mentioned, I love the packaging. I think it's so cute. So this pan, it's like a very like kind of glittery taupey gold color when you look at it. And it, for me, it just doesn't apply quite the same as like what you would expect based off of seeing this in the pan. So what I'm going to do, you can definitely get more glitter, but I don't feel like it looks as glittery when you get it on. Maybe that's just me. I'm going to use a fluffier kind of brush, get some of that on here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a very sheer wash at first, and then I'm going to build it up and kind of show you the versatility of this product. So we'll go in here. What's nice about this is there's not a ton of fallout. One of the things I've noticed is when there is, it's usually like a couple little glitter particles. It's got a really pretty shimmer. I actually feel like my light is picking that up better than sometimes how it looks in person. Definitely a shimmer, but it's not like a thick, chunky glitter, which is really nice. So there's just like one little quick sweep of that. I'm going to do a little bit on the other eye as well. When I was trying to figure out which shade I wanted to get, like obviously elephants, like just, they have my heart. It just, I love elephants so much. And so it really like feels good to buy something knowing it's supporting something you already love so much. But there was another color that I really, really liked that I wouldn't mind getting at some point called Pangolin. And it's like this beautiful kind of lilac-y, pinky purple shade that's like got this shimmer. Oh, it's so pretty. So, so pretty. So I'm going to do a little bit more, kind of build up this wash that we've got going on. That's the nice thing about this. You can really make it very, very soft. Do a little bit. Whoop. You know me. I always do just a little tiny bit underneath, kind of tie it all together. Now let me show you what you can do that's kind of special with this. So I'm going to take my finger, swipe it in there, get a lot on there. You can really build it up this way. And I find using my finger is really one of the best ways to impart a lot more color with powders. And I actually kind of prefer doing this to wetting a brush and putting it in there. I feel like a lot of times when you wet an eyeshadow brush and you stick it into that pan, you end up ruining the product a lot of times. And it kind of like gets hard over the top of it and you can't really get a brush to break through that. But you can see that really kind of builds up that intensity. So you can do a very soft wash, use a big fluffy brush, or you can really build that up. And I like to do this close to the lash line because I just feel like it has more of an impact, kind of like wearing an eyeliner. And there you have it. I love makeup lines that have that philanthropic aspect. Think about like Thrive Cosmetics, Ether Beauty is another one that definitely gives back. Bella Aura gives back to some local women's shelters and things like that. I love when companies do that. But one thing that I've loved so much that Chantecaille did is that they built entire collections, like with the animals in the safari in Africa, like the eyeshadows, all of the eyeshadows. They used to have just 6, now they have 8 of these. All of them have a different charity that they give to. Same thing with their blushes. Some of them are like with bees. The coral that I have, I can't remember off the top of my head what the other organizations were, but I love seeing that within makeup, because I think a lot of people may not go out of their way to give to those organizations, but a lot of people are going to buy makeup. And so to be able to purchase cosmetics and still feel like you're able to do a little bit of good while still getting something that you really want as well, like I think it's a great mission, especially with how big the cosmetics industry is. So I love to see that. I'm going to throw on a little bit of mascara and we will come back and chit chat. Okay, so we are back. I've got my mascara on. I think mascara just really completes the face. Like, at least for me, that's kind of like my one product that I have to have on, and then I'm good to go. I just feel like it just ties everything together, and like, especially with my eye shape, I just feel like it really brings it all together. So, final thoughts on Chantecaille. I love this brand. It is luxury through and through. I feel like their products, the way that they're formulated, it makes it really difficult to overdo any one particular thing. Everything just goes on so beautifully and so easily. And I feel like everything, at least that I've bought, is so flattering on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like that I can use one pan of eyeshadow and get the amount of dimension that I can with that. And I like the options of having it really, really sheer, more for daytime. You could build this up at night. I think if you threw on a black eyeliner and then put this on, it would look really, really good for nighttime too. Just the overall user friendliness of this and the luxury of the packaging, and it's just, it is an expensive line. For me, the overall experience, the philanthropy involved with this line, it justifies the price. I don't mind paying a little bit more when I know that what I'm getting is benefiting the environment and causes that are really near and dear to my heart to begin with. Like I said, I would love to get the shade Pangolin. It's so pretty. Yeah, I'm still kicking myself a little bit for not doing that. I might have to get that. I do wish that they had more shades available for their foundations and concealers, like across their range. I don't really understand going from having a line that has like 125 options down to something that has like 12. That just doesn't, in my brain, add up. And then to like try to say that this is like a full coverage, it's not full coverage, it's like a medium. And I think that that's why having 12 shades is more forgiving, because it's not so full and heavy. It kind of has an adaptive quality because it's not so full and heavy. It's not like pancake makeup on your face. So I think that's like kind of the one big drawback I would say, is that I think that they really could stand to expand their shade ranges. But I love the overall products, the philanthropy, and just the ease of use. Like, that to me is like what I want out of my makeup. Like, I don't want it to be a complicated thing. I want to just be able to put it on, look good, feel good, be done with it, be out the door. And this does that. So I hope that this review has been helpful. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to like and subscribe. It helps other people to find my channel. If you have any questions, please drop them below. I'm always happy to answer them. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.